Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome back to another one of my videos. I am Driddle's Blitz, and today I'm going to be talking about the T-34-1. Now, this is currently my favorite Tier 7 vehicle in my garage. And the reason of that being, well, I actually didn't know much about this tank up until a couple weeks ago. You know, I was scrolling around on YouTube. I like to watch all sorts of World of Tanks content, PC and Blitz, and Quickie Baby is one of my favorite YouTubers out there on the PC realm. And he made a video on the T-34-1, or it had some sort of replay, and he said, well, this is actually a very, very strong tank. And a lot of people don't know that, but it actually has the largest Tier 7 medium gun in the game. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to pull it out in Blitz, maybe it's going to be fun, I'll see how it goes. And I pulled it out, and it is now my favorite Tier 7 tank. And the reason of that being is because of that massive gun it has on it. 280 average damage per shot. That is massive. You don't start to see that kind of damage until you reach Tier 8 with vehicles like the T-54 Mod 1 and the Type 59. And you may be thinking, well, the damage per minute on this tank must just completely suck because of that huge alpha damage. But it's got 2,145, which is more than the Type 59 a tier higher, which is just completely ridiculous. And just like the T-54 Mod 1, this tank has 175 millimeters of penetration, except it's not a Tier 8, it's a Tier 7, which means that all those vehicles that you would normally go up against in your Mod 1, you know, those Tier 9s that you really can't penetrate unless you load premium ammo, you're not going to have any of those struggles with this tank, because 175 pen is plenty to get through really any target you're going to come up against in Tier 7. And if that isn't enough for you, just load the premium and you'll get 240 millimeters of penetration every single shot. Not to mention, because it is a larger caliber gun, your high explosive ammo does 350 average damage per shot, which is going to tear apart your targets like butter. If you get a high roll, you can do up to 400 damage per shot, which is really, really nasty. So you can start to see why this tank can be really fun on the battlefield. Not to mention, it has a really good aiming time at 2.08 seconds. However, I will add that the dispersion values on the tank at 0.380 are not the greatest by any means. One good thing is that it has such a quick aiming time, just like the T-34-3 and the WZ-121, that really, when the aiming time goes in, the dispersion values aren't too bad, because with most tanks, you're not fully aimed in when you're taking your shot. This tank, your aiming time, as I said, is only 2 seconds, so you're aimed in, you're shooting, and then you're moving. So it's a point-and-click tank. It's not a point, wait a couple seconds, and then shoot. So it does make up a little bit on the aiming time for the bad dispersion this vehicle does get. When you move on to the mobility of this vehicle, it goes 50 kilometers per hour forwards, which by no means is the fastest out of any of the medium tanks at Tier 7. You got vehicles like the Dracula, the Type 62, you got a lot of other vehicles around this tier that are very fast. Even the Mod 1 is a pretty quick vehicle, but 50 kilometers per hour for how thick the actual turret is on this tank is not too bad at all. And when you actually do take a look at the turret armor of this vehicle, you can see it's pretty much all red, the entire turret. It's about 200 millimeters on the front of it, and then the edges start to get harder and harder to penetrate, up to 320 millimeters thick on the farthest parts. So you can definitely see it's a very, very tough tank to shoot at. It does have some cupolas on the roof of the tank, but really nobody ever shoots at them, or at least in my experience, I barely have people shoot at them. That the hull armor of this tank I would not say is super thick at all. In fact, an RHM or any 150mm will just smoke you with high explosive rounds right through the front of this tank. So I would actually suggest you run the armor buff on this vehicle, because it's just going to make you pretty much impossible to penetrate with any high explosive from the front. However, the sides, I will say, very easy to shoot with high explosive, and the same for the rear. But because this tank is such a small target, you have to remember this is a tiny, tiny tank. I have a Type 62 now you're looking at, and you can see that the T-34-1 is pretty much smaller than a Type 62. And because of that, it makes this tank so hard to be able to, first of all, get a shot off of, but when it's zipping around the map, or even when it's using its gun depression, now it doesn't have a crazy amount of gun depression, but at 6 degrees, when you're using this tank and you're, it's very low down, as I said. So when you're using the tank on a little hill, it's so small that really usually only the turret ever sticks out, which makes a very tough tank to penetrate. From my personal experiences, though, usually alpha is key, and the main reason of that being is just because you don't have to pull out as much. Some of the issues I really find at some of the lower tiers, or tanks with faster and faster reloads, is that you have to constantly pull out. When you're in a tank like a Comet or a Type 62, you're constantly just pulling out to keep shooting because your reload is so quick. With the T-34-1, when you have that good turret armor, you've got the pretty good aiming time, and plus you have that huge alpha damage. What you're able to do is you're able to figure out, hey, where am I going to go? Where am I going to position my tank? Because you're able to just, unload massive amounts of damage. You just saw I shot that Yak Panther in the rear, lit him on fire. It did literally like 400 damage there. You really can't do that in any other tank in the game. But the main thing I really think that this tank is excellent at doing is going up against overpowered vehicles, because there's a lot of overpowered tanks at Tier 7. In fact, pretty much about every game you play in Tier 7, you're going to find at least 2 overpowered tanks, usually a Smasher. Even Tier 8s are overpowered. There's just always something that's going to be overpowered. Even like the Type 62 is a pretty overpowered vehicle. But the nice thing about the T-34-1 is it has that alpha bonus. So when you're going up against a tank like the Dracula, if it's going to tap you for 220, you can tap it back for 280 and hide behind cover. And the nice thing is, you're so low down, you've got that nice turret, you've got a chance of bouncing shells through your turret. I bounce at least 50% of the shots I receive in this tank because it's so low down, and I use the ridge lines to my advantage. So you're able to hit these people back harder than they're hitting you, because you can actually outtrade some of the heavy tanks at Tier 7. Tigers you're easily going to outtrade. A T-29 you're pretty much going to go on par with. So you can start to imagine why this gun is so influential on the battlefield. You can really change the course and carry a game. And the nice thing is, the tank's free. It doesn't cost any money. And I really, really like it. So I would definitely suggest, if any of you don't even know what this tank is, you've never thought about it, I would definitely suggest you do pick up this vehicle. And not to mention, the entire line itself is an excellent tank line to go down. The WZ-121 is one of my all-time favorite Tier 10 mediums. The Tier 9 I liked personally. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's still a pretty good tank, and as well for the Tier 8. So I would definitely suggest, in general, that you pick up this tank, not only because it's an excellent tank in itself, but as well because the line is one of my favorite lines, and it will probably be one of your favorite lines to go down as well. This is going to be the ending of the video, though. I hope you guys really did like it, and of course, if you did, make sure to subscribe. We've been actually getting a lot of subscribers lately. I'm not sure why, but if you guys don't know, I have been sick for the past couple of days. I don't like to put that at the beginning of my videos anymore, because I feel you're watching my video to learn something new, to find something out. So I'll talk to you guys at the end of the video about my current day, or something like that. But yes, I've been sick for the past couple of days, and it really bums me out because I really wanted to get some videos out this weekend. But I really want to thank all of you that have subscribed, and any of you that are subscribing to my channel. I really didn't expect to go up like 100 subscribers in the past 5 days, even though I only posted one video. So I want to thank all of you guys for the love and support you do give me, especially the patrons and everybody else indeed. And if you aren't a patron, I'll leave the link in the description down below if you want to check that out. But other than that, guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you go for the T-34-1. It is one of my favorite tanks in the game. And if you've noticed, I'm going to start doing some more user-friendly type videos, some more free tanks, because honestly, premium tanks are so expensive for me lately. Meatsy's told me to wait out for the guy that supplies you with contributor accounts, so I'm going to be waiting for that. But currently, I'm really not going to be making many premium tank videos. I'm going to be making some more free tanks. I'll be doing videos on tanks that I like that are free, some tech tree stuff, some map showcases to help you guys run around the map, learn what you're doing. Maybe I'm going to start doing the how to medium stuff. I'm going to talk about the new heavy tank buffs with all the hit points. So keep your eyes posted. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell. And other than that, guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.